Welcome to Talk to Me, Home Ideas for Supporting Children Who Use Augmentative and Alternative Communication. My name is Colleen Kalamaika.
And my name is Jeff Powers.
I'm Jessica Keaton. We're assistive technology coaches here in Fairfax County Public Schools. The training today will provide basic information on implementing augmentative and alternative communication with your child in the home setting.
Let's go ahead and get started. Augmentative and alternative communication, also known as AAC, is any form of communication that does not use a person's voice as their primary means of talking. This could include anything from gestures or facial expressions to writing or pointing to pictures. It could also include a communication device, which many of our FCPS students who have trouble talking use. Many students may understand what people say, but have difficulty expressing their thoughts, wants, feelings, and ideas verbally. Make sure to speak directly to the student and refrain from speaking about students in their presence. Your child might be using light tech AAC, like picture cards, communication books, or simple electronic devices that produce a message when you touch it. Or they might use higher tech communication systems on tablets or iPads. At this point, we would like to talk for a few minutes about what you might be seeing on your child's device. When we look at setting up a communication system, there are three main things we consider. First, we think about the vocabulary, what words we want to have available. We also must look at how these words are represented with pictures and/or symbols and words. Lastly, we want to make sure the device is organized in a manner where words are easy to access and are located in consistent places so that the user can easily remember the location of the word. So let's talk about the words on the device. Since AAC systems are usually based on a model of typical language development, it is important to talk about how language develops. At about 1 year of age, children typically say their first words. We might hear words like night-night, mama, bye-bye, or even some version of a pet's name. Then by about 18 months, children acquire a critical mass of about 50 to 60 words. When this happens, children start putting two words together to say things like daddy bye-bye, more milk, or my car. After that, children start putting three words together. In a typical development, children learn these words and how to assemble them together meaningfully because spoken language has been modeled for them since birth. This is why we need to think about the words on devices. So there are two main types of vocabulary we look at when setting up a system to support communication. Core words tend to be words other than nouns, including verbs, adjectives, prepositions, things that tend to describe rather than label. These are words that can be used throughout our day, whether we are at home, school, or in the community. Additionally, these are the words that emerge in typical language development. Fringe words are more topic or situationally specific and tend to be nouns. The last main consideration when looking at a communication device is how it is organized. This is where motor planning becomes our best friend. To make our point, think about how you can type out your name on a keyboard without looking. Or think about how easy it is for you to find your favorite apps on your smartphone. Our ability to do this is based on our motor plan. When we do motor movements over and over again, they become automatic, and we are able to do it without thinking about it. This is what we want for our AAC users, and it is why we try to keep the location of words in the same place.
Thanks, Jeff, for that AAC introduction. Now that we've gone over some of the basics, we'd like to provide some suggestions to help you support your children using AAC at home. The main ideas we will discuss are having the device available, engaging children in meaningful interactions, modeling the use of language with the device, and acknowledging all attempts of communication by AAC users. The first idea is basic, making sure the device is available to use. This may sound simple, but we recognize it can be a challenge. After a busy day at work or school, it can be stressful to find a time to get the device out to use with your child. However, if you're able to identify a fun activity that is routinely done in your home, we suggest you start there. Some examples may be eating a snack or gathering together on the couch to watch a favorite video. If you can find small periods of time to get out the device to use with your child, you'll be able to celebrate small communication successes throughout the day. As a reminder, please plug devices in nightly so that they are ready to go for the next day. When thinking about these fun, short activities with your child, we encourage you to focus on connecting with your child while keeping the activity the focus. Next, let's think about our interactions during the activity. Sometimes when we are using a communication device, it can be a challenge to remember the purpose for using the device. So we'd like to remind everyone that the purpose is to engage with the child and allow the child to engage with us. The purpose is not to control what the child is doing or what the child is saying. So when we are using and supporting devices, try to engage children in activities they enjoy. Instead of focusing on the device, focus on the activity and use the device as a tool to engage in the activity. The next suggestion is to model using the device with your child. Modeling is basically showing someone how to do something. Modeling can happen multiple times before your child provides a response. Just be patient. Remember how many times parents model words to their babies before the babies actually say their first words. Let's talk a little about how to model language using the device. To do this, speak your message to your child. As you speak, touch the picture on the device or the printed card while verbally emphasizing the word that you are saying. For example, when swinging with your child, you can bring the swing to a stop, and then when you see that your child is ready for more swinging, you can show her the device and say, "Let's go," while touching go on the device, and then give her a nice push. This leads to the next suggestion, which is to provide your child with wait time. Wait time is the amount of time that we are silent after providing the child with a prompt, modeling a word or phrase, or asking a question. It's worth mentioning that wait time is also the time we provide for children to initiate some sort of communication. For example, when something unexpected happens in the environment, such as someone new walks into the room or something falls off the table, let's give the child a moment to potentially initiate some sort of communication about the change. Why should we provide wait time? There are a couple of reasons. First, it gives the child time to process what we have said or asked and to plan out a response. Second, it gives the child a chance to respond. Many of our students have delays in their processing time, and many have fine or gross motor delays or disabilities that impact their ability to get their bodies to do what they want them to do. We need to give children a chance to actually formulate and execute their message. Lastly, providing wait time increases children's use of their communication devices because less prompting and verbal input have been provided.
Thanks, Jessica, for those tips on how to support AAC users. Now let's talk a little bit about how this might look at home. If you're just getting started, we suggest you begin by setting small goals. Start by selecting a small set of words everyone can work on at home. Next, think about a time of day when you can work with your child. This could be a 10-minute period of time when you're doing a leisure activity or eating a snack. And once you get the hang of it, hopefully you and your child will begin to use the communication device in another setting. And the last point we want to make here is please celebrate any success you or your child has using the device. These successes could be getting the device out and trying to use it a little bit. Or it could be that you hear your child say a new word using the device. Celebrating these successes will encourage you and your child to keep going on this communication journey. Parenting can be challenging, and trying to remember one extra thing like the words you're targeting can add to an already hectic household. One of our favorite suggestions is to make use of sticky notes. They are an inexpensive way to post visual reminders of target core words around your house. Sticky notes won't harm surfaces and can be easily removed when they are no longer needed. Now let's take a look at one activity many of us enjoy during the day, and that's mealtime or snack time. If you do a little bit of preparation ahead of time, using the device in real time should be less stressful because you don't have to worry about coming up with the words you're going to target during the actual event. We suggest you first make a list of words that you would like to target during the mealtime, and then learn the location of those targeted words on your student's device. Practice saying these target words on the communication device ahead of your mealtime, and then finally post those words in a spot that is easy to see. When you're working with your child during meal or snack time, try to keep it low key. This should be enjoyable, not stressful for you and your child. Talk to your child during the meal using one or two target words. Please do not place demands on your child, such as telling the child to find eat or show me drink. Just talk and model use of the device. Please do not pressure your child to talk. You model, and they listen and watch. And then we also suggest that you enjoy your time with your child and just model. If mealtime is not good for you and your family, please pick another place to start. Here are some words or phrases you could use during your meal or snack time. Please remember, conversation does not have to be solely related to food. You might ask questions about how was your day or where did you go? Also, feel free to model on the device while you're talking to other people around the table. It does not have to always be directed at the child who uses the communication device. Another activity children often enjoy is reading. This could be reading a paper book, or you might use these same ideas when reading an online book, since some children do better with animation. To begin, select your book and then read through it or watch the video of the reading. Look at the text on each page and consider one or two target words. You don't have to read each word using the communication device. Please keep in mind that you can simplify the text, or you can also swap out words in the book for core words. Next, write your target words on each page using a sticky note or a Post-it. This will be your visual reminder as you read with your child. And then finally, practice reading that book or watching the video while modeling the target word before you actually do it with your child. Once you get the hang of it, you probably won't need to do all this work ahead of time. When using the device to read, we want to encourage you to try not to make literacy activities all about the communication device. Instead, focus on enjoying reading or watching a story on the video. Model the target word on each page as you go through the book without requiring your child to activate the word after you say it. Now, if your child is enjoying the book as you read it, please feel free to go back and read it again. This time, encourage the child to use the device if they would like to. However, there really shouldn't be any pressure for your child to use the word you are modeling. The goal here is for you to model the language on the device, so it's okay if your child doesn't imitate that target word. Play activities your child might enjoy include games, building activities, or sensory toys. When planning to use AAC for fun activities, many of the suggestions we provided when looking at mealtime and reading apply to leisure activities as well. Please remember, if you're using the device multiple times during the day, it's absolutely fine to work on those same few words for each of those activities. So when playing, first consider the activity, and then create your list of targeted words that fit the game or the activity and write them down on your sticky notes. It's nice to put those sticky notes somewhere everybody can see, so you might put them on the storage bag or in the box or on the wall next to your play area. Finally, spend a couple of minutes practicing using those words before you work with your child. When it's time to play with your child, make sure you place the list of targeted words where you can see them, and then have fun and remember to model the words you are targeting while you play. There should be no pressure for your child, just model and have some fun. As we finish up, we'd like to encourage you to try to respond to any attempts your child makes to communicate. Basically, what this means is that when your child says something, whether it's verbally, on the device, or signing, respond to these attempts. If you think the word wasn't selected purposely, instead of telling your child that the word is wrong and going to the targeted word, we encourage you to use this opportunity to shape the language and help your child realize the meaning behind the word that was selected. Another way to respond to your child is by giving him or her what he asks for, even if you know it's not what he wants. Then the child can either accept what you've given to him, or your child can refuse it. If that happens, then it's a perfect opportunity for you to say something like, "Oh, that's not what you want. Let's try again." If you know what your child wants at that point, and you think that he could benefit from a model, go ahead and help him to find that word. This is a perfect opportunity to show him how to get to that word and to model the sequence. And then allow him to do the talking. We realize there are times when something is not an option because it's not available or because it's not time to do the activity requested. When this happens, we suggest you acknowledge the request and let your child know it's not available at that time. If possible, it would be great if you could let your child know when the item he requested will become available. For example, if your child requests to play with music and it's time to get ready for bed, you can say something like, "Right now it's time to brush your teeth. You can listen to music after you get ready for bed." Just one last thought for you all. Jeff, Jessica, and I would like to encourage you to keep it simple and fun. Connect with your children. Remember to celebrate your successes along the way. We would like to thank you for taking the time to learn more about ways to support AAC users in the home environment. To learn more about assistive technology services, please visit the FCPS website or the FCPS Employee Hub and search for Assistive Technology Services. You can also learn more about things that are happening at ATS by following us on Twitter at ATS_FCPS.